Hi, my name is AWeigel, and I'll be presenting my personal creative project for CI 795. And the first question is to show your PCP and then describe what it is and its significance to me. So this is my project, and I've created a family recipe book that has different recipes that were passed on through generations to me, and then I've also included pictures that remind me of those recipes, and then also memories that I've had when I was eating that food. The significance to me is that I kind of feel like in the age of abundance, a lot of people are just going out and they're buying fast food, and so unfortunately we're kind of losing a lot of those recipes or family recipes. And growing up, one of the things that really brought my family together and that I have a lot of memories of is really just kind of cooking and being in the kitchen, and so it's something that I really have a huge passion for, and so I wanted to try and incorporate that somehow. I went to a professional development a few years ago, and there was a woman who created a cookbook, and it was based on recipes that she had found as she traveled through Kansas. And she kind of mentioned that, like, what you eat kind of says a lot about, like, who you are as a person, and that we can kind of tell a lot about different areas based on the type of food that they're making. And she also mentioned that recipes that you have of foods kind of like make you maybe like them a little bit more, like if you have good memories from them. Second question is, what was your journey like from considering the options all the way to completion, and what were some highlights to it? So the journey started kind of difficult because I had a lot of ideas and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. But when I started thinking about what I wanted to create, I wanted to find something that I already did, that I was already creating, but just something that I could maybe make into like something a little bit more significant. And some highlights at the very beginning were, like, when I was watching this Netflix documentary, it was about a book that's been written, and it talks about kind of like foods that you make kind of express like who your family is and kind of like what your heritage and culture is like. And so I thought, what better way to kind of create that than to make a recipe book that has recipes from my family, and then also kind of add a flair on that as like what were memories that I've had from those foods. So while I made the book, I thought one of my favorite things was talking to my grandma on the phone, and I was asking her, like, well, you know, how did you learn to cook? Did you spend a lot of time with your mom or anything like that? And she actually mentioned that she kind of learned to cook on her own, which I thought was really interesting because she's like the biggest cook in my family, and so that was really interesting to hear. But I learned a lot from her, and then I bonded a lot with my mom and father through cooking, and so it was really kind of fun to hear that. Another thing that I really enjoyed was going through pictures with my mom, and we kind of picked out like different pictures, so that was really fun to kind of like, I guess, try and figure out where I wanted to put them. And then obviously when I was finished, my favorite thing was just like seeing the product completed and kind of seeing like all my ideas kind of come together. The next question is about which creative thinking type does your PCP reflect, and my project probably reflects creative, but also a little bit of practical. So it's creative because I've never created a cookbook before, and obviously it has recipes from my family, and so it's a little bit, I guess, different than something that you would normally see. So it is pretty original. Plus it has pictures from my family and then also memories, so that kind of goes along with it being a little bit creative, or a little bit more creative. And then it's practical because I've made all those recipes, and so I've tried them before. My project also illustrates something I've never done before because I've never created a book, but it does kind of represent something that I've done before because I've scrapbooked a lot, and so it's kind of similar to that. And then it is something that I've added a unique touch to just because they were recipes that were passed down to me, but I added my own flair to it by adding my memories to them. And then the last question is, which area of creative growth does my project reflect? And this is going to be elaboration, just because those recipes were things that were given to me, so you know, those were things that were passed down, but I added a little bit more detail to it, and I got a little bit more specific about the memories that I had with those items. So I really, really enjoyed this project, and I hope that you liked it. Thank you.